Hello and welcome to Soul Fuel. My name's John, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about what it's like to prepare for fall and winter riding. I know where I live in the deep south, I can ride virtually 12 months out of the year. In some areas, you absolutely cannot. But some of us can ride much longer than we realize if we prepare properly. So I'm going to cover 5 areas in this video. I'm going to cover coverings for your head, your upper body, your lower body, your hands, and your feet. So without further ado, let's get into it. When you talk about your head, the most important thing, in my estimation, is a helmet. So I've got a couple options for you here. Now this isn't important necessarily about who makes the helmet, but the type of helmet. This particular one is a Shoei, but more importantly, it's a full face helmet. So the entire unit is one piece and it provides the most protection you can possibly have. It's also generally the quietest helmet you can use, this type of helmet, because there's less openings to it. You'll notice I have a darkened shield here. I also have a lighter shield I carry on my bike, so if I'm going at night or if it gets cloudy, I can swap this out. One of the important things about this is there's some little dots on here, and there's a unit on the inside. It's really hard to see, but it attaches all the way around it here on the inside and makes like a suction. It's called a pen lock. It's an anti-fogging device. So in the summer when it's really hot, you can pop your helmet on and you get that fogging sensation almost right away. But with the pen lock, it absolutely gets rid of that. And I found in the winter, it's even worse. So I would look for a helmet that had the option to put a pen lock on it, and then I would get a pen lock. One of the things I use on my helmet for a safety device is a unit by Break Free. You can see that as you move this unit, it triggers. It has an accelerometer on it. So our motorcycles have a lot of engine braking, no matter how big they are, and we can slow down quickly in front of a car, but we may not be hitting our brakes. And if we don't hit our brakes, the car can come up on us fast. But when we hit our brake, or when we slow down by engine braking, the accelerometer in this unit senses it, and it'll flash, and it's at the level of a driver's face. So you can look up Break Free. They're not endorsing this. I've had conversations with the owner of the company. Phenomenal company. They have these in black and in white. So excellent product. Another option when we talk about helmets is a modular helmet. So if you're going down the road and you want to take a break, and you want to get a drink of something, you don't want to pull your helmet off, these can pop open and you can take a drink and do what you need, get a breath of fresh air. So these are another good option. They do provide good protection for your chin, but because they're a second piece, not as good a protection as a full face helmet. So it's up to you what type of helmet you wear, who makes them, but still I would heavily endorse a full face helmet. One of the other things you can look at is minor, but a lot of people take these off, and that's the chin curtain, okay? So this just pops in on the front, comes in like this, and it keeps the wind from coming up in here so much. That'll keep you a little warmer in the winter. A lot of times we take these off in the summer and forget about them. So don't forget about that. And the most important piece in the winter is this balaclava, okay? This piece here. This goes over your head. Obviously you can see where your eyes come out. Covers your nose and your mouth. Most importantly, it's covering your neck here because this is the space where the air will come in between your helmet and your jacket, on the front and on the back and all around. So the best thing to do is to put this on, then put your jacket on and your helmet, and this will do a phenomenal job of keeping you warm. This one is made by Warm R Freeze Out, It's just an option. Get any brand you want. I would look at RevZilla or Cycle Gear as a couple places where you can get these items I'm about to show you. But an excellent, excellent choice. These things are worth every penny you spend on them. Number two, the upper body. The biggest thing I can tell you here is like you learned as a child out in the winter. You wear layers, right? Instead of one heavy thing, you wear layers of clothing. So let's take a look at a possible layer. The biggest thing to do is get yourself, Cycle Gear and RevZilla will call these winter tops. You can call these long johns if you want, but they're a special lining. They're very light, but they can keep you quite warm. The biggest thing here is you want to get something loose enough that's comfortable, but that comes all the way down to your wrist, maybe a little bit past. You don't want any spaces for air gaps because that's wherever the weakest point is, that's where you're going to get cold, right? So we don't want that. Another thing is to just, throw another shirt on top. So one more layer, okay? That'll keep you warm on the top. Let's talk about probably the most important thing for the top, and that's your jacket. So in the summer, I typically wear a mesh jacket. And this one particularly has a lining in it because if it gets colder, the air is made to go right through the jacket. So the positive side is if it's not too cold, you can still wear a jacket like this with a thin lining on it, especially provided the lining comes through the arms, okay? Now, again, I'm not endorsing any product. That's a Joe Rocket. This is a Harley Davidson. The reason I'm showing you this one is this is a textile. So the nice thing about the textile, especially in the fall and towards the winter, is it's not mesh, so it's not perforated, so it'll knock down the wind. So this works really good when things cool off. Plus, this has a zip-in liner. Now this particular one only lines the main body and it doesn't line the arms. So that's something you might want to consider when you're looking at jackets. If you're ordering them online, you're not actually testing them. Also make sure you get the armor, good quality armor in the elbows and in the shoulders, and especially in the back. Now this one, like many of them, have zippers where air vents and you can flow air in or out on that side and flow air in here, 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 all over the place. So those are the type of things to look for. Here's another option. This is one of my jackets. Now to give you an idea, this jacket, the Joe Rocket's probably around $150. The Harley was, I think, $175. This one is more along the lines of $500. This is a BMW jacket. It has a combination of textile with mesh, and it has a breathable interior liner plus another liner that goes in. And the second liner that goes in is much more high quality, much thicker, secures in multiple ways. A big thing to look for is to make sure when these things snap or zipper that they cover up the zipper, because again, the air can come in through the zipper and get you cold as well. So an excellent product. You can look at products by like Klim. There's lots of companies that make these type of products. These are on the pricier side for sure, but they're super high quality. They have reflective, high vis. They also have snaps that you can get matching all-weather pants that go with them and snap them into them. So that's a great option. As well, you can take something as simple as one of these little sleeveless jackets and put it under your motorcycle jacket or coat, whatever you're wearing, just to get an additional layer to keep you warm. So that's some upper body things. Now everything I'm showing you today, you can get options that actually heat and can plug into a motorcycle if you have those options available for you. But these are the least expensive ways to go, more practical. So, number 3, hands. Super important. If your hands are cold, you're not going to want to ride. So, I wear mesh gloves in the summer. Again, down here where I live, it's a warm, 10 months out of the year. When it starts to cool off, I'll get these liners. So these liners are made so that you can just slip these on. They fit fairly tight, and then put your regular gloves on over these. So these have a barrier, a block, so that you can knock the wind down. So especially if you don't have a full fairing bike, like I have a Gold Wing here, so it has a full fairing, so it basically wipes out all the air coming towards my hands, or most of it. Excuse me. But if you don't have a fairing, or if it doesn't block good, this is a good option, but it's kind of a stopgap option, okay? That's one way to go. A better way to go is to get winter gloves. Now these are by Sedici. They're just another brand. I believe Cycle Gear is one of their main brands. The big thing about a winter glove, if you see when I put this on, it's made so that your jacket tucks down inside, and then you secure it over your jacket, so when the wind comes over, it blows over, then it blows on the top of your jacket. Most gloves, at least that we wear down here, are cut off here, and what happens is the air comes under it and into your jacket, onto your arm. So a winter glove will alleviate all that. Now the challenge is, at least for me when I started wearing these, is they're much thicker. So if you get winter gloves, I would definitely practice on your bike the controls really well before I got out on the road. You don't even have to turn the bike on, but just get on it and function through both hand controls and make sure it works pretty good for you, and you can feel the touch on it, because the throttle will feel different, the clutch will feel different, turn signal, everything. So, get used to that. It's an important thing to look at. Number 4. Before I go to number 4, hey, if you would you like and subscribe to this channel if you already haven't? It would really mean a lot to me. Leave some comments in the fields there to build the community. And again, if you like this video, share it with your friends. Next thing we're going to look at is number 4 is legs. Very important. So on the legs, most of us are going to wear thick jeans, quite frankly. We're just going to wear a pair of Levi's or something like that, a regular pair of jeans. But you need to put something under the jeans. So again, it goes back to layers. And in the layers, again, if you look at Revzilla, Cycle Gear, they'll have, winter pants, they call them, or sort of a long john. Again, this is made by Heat Keep. Same type of material as the top is. These type of things you can find on sale. They can be anywhere from $15, $20, over $100 sometimes for these type of things. So just look for a good deal. We've got Black Friday coming up. Maybe you want to put some of these things on your list to look for, because if you're going to ride in the winter, you're going to need this kind of stuff. So that's the pants. Also, all-weather pants. Remember, I referred to this jacket, and actually this jacket has snaps in the back as well. But you can get material that matches these, that matches the exact jacket. So you can get a jacket and a pant, especially if you're going on long trips where you could run into some weather. That's a fantastic setup. But there's a cost to that. A jacket and a pair of pants like that could cost you $800, $1,000 or more for a combo. So it's a significant amount of money, but something to think about. Now, one thing I learned when I started riding in the winter was that I would get some air coming up through underneath my pants, bottom of my pants, above my boot. So I'd ride down the road, I was all nice and warm and toasty, but the lower leg was getting cold and air constantly, and it would shorten my ride. So a couple things you could do, several things, but here's a couple things. You could get a compression sock, or quite frankly, you could just get a wool sock that's tall, very tall. Okay, and use that on. That's one thing to do. Another thing you can do is these are little compression type things to help with shin splints, something like that. This one's made by Run Forever. So they're supposed to give you a little compression on your calf, but what's nice about these is you can put these over your socks above your ankle and up through your calf, and if any wind does get under this is one more layer to knock it down. Works fantastic. So that's for your legs. Now the fifth thing and the final thing is your feet. Again, you want to keep your hands warm and not wet. You gotta seal them up, and exactly the same thing with your feet. So when it comes to the feet, you want to get some winter socks. I mean, it seems simple enough, but get some thick socks, right? Thick socks, tall socks, long socks that come up above your calf, preferably. These are another one made by Warm R. They're called Warm R Freeze Outs. These are a little awkward, I found these, but they work well. So you put your socks on, then you slide these over, another air barrier, another moisture barrier, and it really can keep your feet warm, almost too warm in some cases. But another option for you there. Again, all these things you can see at Revzilla or Cycle Gear. So we're talking about feet, we're talking about liners. Most important thing probably is your boots. So on the boots, we can do a variety of things. Here's just a traditional boot. This is the ones that I wear the most of the time. They're a standard steel toe. They have ankle protection, and they're slip resistant. Excuse me. So it's a good boot, but you can see it's not very tall. Okay, so in the winter especially, or if I'm riding and I know I'm going to run into some rain, if I'm going on some distance, I'll wear these boots. This is a Tourmaster boot. Nice thing about these are they're all sealed up front. They're double zippered. There's different variations of these, and you just pop your foot in. A double lining. Here's a lining here. Here's a waterproof lining here. You just tuck your foot in and you go. Great thing is they've got shift guards are built right into it so you don't mess up the boot. They're anti-slip and oil resistant. They're completely 100% waterproof and windproof. And this one's a little taller. You can get them, quite tall if you want. But this is the type of boot you can wear. And if you want to tuck your pants into a boot, you can get away with it on these. So excellent boot. So again, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe. Leave some comments, share it with your friends. And until I meet you again, keep riding, be safe, and have a great day.